Good morning, good afternoon. Happy So Wet Day. I hope you're having a great start to your day. We are in the middle of National Sewing Month. So I have a great project to share with you today that celebrates our love of sewing. Before we get to that though, we are also starting a new season. I believe tomorrow is the first day of fall. And I woke up to 39 degrees this morning, so that was a little bit of a shocker. I'm sure it will warm up though. Here in Colorado, we are all about the layers because you just never know if you're going to wake up to snow or 85 degrees at this point. But I'm happy to report that the temperatures are cooling off a bit because man, that was one hot summer. So we are also celebrating the start of fall with our fall mystery box. If you all are veterans of Sew What, then you know all about our mystery boxes. These are awesome little gifts to give yourself that include tons of Sulky products as well as a few products from our trusted partners that will get you in the mindset and get you ready for all of your fall makes. This is one of my favorite mystery boxes. Each box may be a little bit different, so you might get something different than what I have in my box here. And every time we do a new mystery box, they sell out in a matter of hours. So if you're interested in the mystery box, click on over to the link that's in the description of today's post and grab one because they are only $29.99 and only available while supplies last. I have mine here, so I want to see who wants me to unbox my mystery box, or let me know if you would rather have it be a surprise because, some of these items are going to be in every box. You may have different threads, different stabilizers, different needles, different goodies. So the point is everything in these mystery boxes is valued at $55 and up. So for only $29.99, you're getting at least $55 worth of products inside. And I like to think of it as kind of similar to opening your basket on Chopped, right? You can challenge yourself to make something with the contents inside and, it really challenges your creativity. Or you might find there is something in this box that you've never heard of before, never tried before. And once you give it a try, it might become part of your normal sort of project rotation. So it's an opportunity to try something new that maybe you haven't tried before and to restock some of the tried and true favorites that Sulky offers. All right, so some people are saying they'd like to see, excited to see what's in the box, unbox it. All right, so we're going to share it. We're going to unbox it. Like I said, you might get something different in your box, so it will still be a surprise to you when your mystery arrives in the mail. So our cute little box here, the box in and of itself, to me, is important. If I can reuse the box, all the better, So cute little mystery box sticker. Love that. Let's see what I have. Okay. Ooh, all right. You guys are going to love this. So I happen to know that in each box, this time we have included some fabric. Yay! I know. Some mystery fabric that you can experiment with in some really great fall colors. So you may get a colorway like this. You may get something totally different in your box. It is a fat quarter's worth of fabric, 2 fat quarters. So yay, starting off with fabric, that's always fun. And then of course, we have included, let me see how many spools I got here. I have 6 spools of Sulky thread, 6 spools. Now, depending on the thread type and weight, 6 spools of thread could cost you $29.99 or more. So for the value of your box, you're getting 6 spools of thread and everything else I'm about to show you. So in my box, I have all different thread weights and types in some great fall colors that actually coordinate with the fabric I received. So that is a happy accident. All right, so I have some Poly Deco, which is our 40 weight thread you can use for machine embroidery or construction. I have some 50 weight cotton, our long staple high quality cotton thread. I've got some shiny, beautiful rayon, again, all in these great fall colors. I have some 12 weight filaine. Filaine is our 100% acrylic thread that brushes and blooms. If you use our filaine wire brush, you can use it for machine embroidery, very, very low speed embroidery with a large needle, like a 116. So you can embroider with 12 weight thread and it creates really cool effects. All right, I also have some Poly Light. This is great for quilt projects. This is great for machine embroidery, small little details for machine embroidery, or you can use it in your bobbin as well for machine embroidery or quilting, that type of thing. And then, of course, I got some beautiful hollow shimmer. This is kind of a variegated hollow shimmer, which is our flat metallic thread used for decorative applications. If you've never used a sulky metallic thread before, we have lots of different metallic varieties of thread. Now's your chance to give it a try because it might be in your mystery box. All right, let's see what else I got. Like I mentioned, you will get a pack of organ needles. The size and type, I am unsure what will be in your box. I have Microtex size 80/12s in my box. Microtex needles are great for detail work. They're great for lightweight fabrics. They're great for piecing together lighter weight fabrics, even quilting cottons or cotton voile, that type of thing. All right. And okay, this is perfect for me. You're going to get a couple of notions or goodies or gifts from Sulky, and I think that this is mine, and it's kind of serendipitous. So these are decorative head pins, and they are in the shape of little breast cancer awareness ribbons. Let's open it up and take a look a little bit closer. The reason this is perfect for me is I am a breast cancer survivor. Shout out to all of you survivors out there or anyone undergoing treatment at the moment. You know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we are, headed in that direction. But really, every month should be Breast Cancer Awareness Month, where we take care of our sisters and show our support. So isn't that cute? These are the little heads of the pins here. So this would make a really great little sewing kit gift for somebody who is going to undergo treatment and needs a little something to do with their hands to bide their time. Or if you are a survivor yourself, you can just add these to your sewing room, make yourself a cute little pin cushion, that type of thing. So that's really great. I'm glad I got these in my box. Not sure if they will be in your box again, but that's what I got. I also got a trusty Sewer's Aid. Sewer's Aid I talk about all the time. It's really great for sewing with metallic threads. You put a little bit of Sewer's Aid on your needle and or the needle eye. Makes it really easy to thread needles, whether you're hand sewing or machine sewing. And it kind of reduces the friction that can happen with high-speed embroidery and metallic threads. So this is a water-based thread lubricant, so it's not going to discolor your threads or fabrics, and it, just washes away. So that's really important as well. So yay, that's a really great little notion. I also got a fun little pumpkins kit, 3 little pumpkins kit. So that's a fun little project I can do. Again, not sure if this will be in your box, but thank you. Very cute. All right, so of course we have to include some of our best-selling favorite stabilizers in the mystery box. Mine has a 1 yard pack of heat away clear film. This is great for machine embroidery projects where you want the stabilizer to completely disappear after embroidery. You would use this like a topper on textured fabrics, anything that has a pile to it where you want your stitches to sit atop the fabric surface rather than sink down in. So this is a great topper that disappears with heat from an iron. So really, really great. You can try that out. And then, now I did say, I'm not sure these things will be in your box, but I am sure that this will be in your box because our good pals at Sulky said, you know what? Everyone needs to try this. This is our stick and carve. And this is a little sampler pack of Sulky stick and carve. So you would use this. It's very similar. Well, I think it's actually the same exact product as Sulky Stick and Stitch. So this is a water-soluble stabilizer. You can print your pumpkin design onto it and stick it to the front of your pumpkin and carve right through it. So use it to transfer your pumpkin design to your pumpkin, cut it all out, and then simply wipe it away with a wet washcloth or paper towel, and it completely disappears. So really, really cool idea. You can print right onto it from your inkjet or laser printer. Put it on the draft setting because you don't need tons of ink. You just need to be able to see your design lines. And look at all the cool effects you can do on your Halloween pumpkins. So you can really look like an expert pumpkin carver when you have design transfer. As easy as this. So everybody's going to get a little bit of stick and carve to give it a try. And then everything else, there's about 12 or 13 products in the box. So be sure to grab yours up. Give me a thumbs up if you have got your mystery box, because again, they sell out really, really quickly. So if you want one, you got to make sure to add that to your cart. Okay. Linda has a question. Does the heat away dissolve into a towel, the fabric of the item in which you embroidered, or gum up your iron? So it sort of just dissipates. It doesn't go into the fabric fibers when you are removing it. I do not find it gums up the iron either, but you want to be sure to just follow the instructions that come with your stabilizer so that your iron isn't too hot. Also, make sure that your fabric can withstand heat from an iron. For example, if you're embroidering on fleece, we know that we cannot put a hot iron onto most, if not all, fleece fabrics. So instead of a heat away topper, you're going to want to use Solvy, a water-soluble topper. So your fabric, first off, needs to be able to withstand the heat that you're using to remove that stabilizer. So no residue on the fabric, not recommended for terry cloth and fleece. This does say if you use on really high pile fabrics like terry cloth and fleece, it can get trapped in those loops. So I apologize. I did not give you the correct information. So I'm glad I read the instructions. I've used this a few times, but honestly, my go-to is Solvy. So I'm glad that I have some more that I can experiment with so I can, better speak to all of you about the heat away. I have used it for 3D appliques. I have used it on heavier weight, sort of like denim fabric that has a texture to it, so that the stabilizer will remove and I don't have to get the denim fabric wet. Things like that. It's great for cut work designs. So it says, do not use steam. Works well on most fabric types. Again, not something with those really high pile loops. Terry cloth, you definitely want to use a water-soluble stabilizer. All right. Val says she has apparently used the heat away and no residue at all. So that's fantastic. All right. And using a Teflon ironing sheet. That is a great tip as well. That's great for lots of applications. We have a pressing sheet at sulky.com that's pretty good size. Mine is actually hanging right here underneath a pattern piece. I always have it in near my ironing station so I can pull it down and use it. And I always use it when doing fusible applique, because sometimes you can have a little bit of shifting, or maybe you've cut your applique a little bit off and you don't want to get that residue on your iron because it's really just a pain to get rid of. All right. Cheryl says she will be getting the mystery box right after this. Nancy has ordered one. So, all right. I love it. I love it. All right. Elaine has already ordered. Okay, I'm going to get an update and see how many we have left. I want to make sure everybody watching right now is... Okay. They're telling me that we still have a few left. So you still have some time to grab your mystery box. Kathy has ordered her first mystery box. All right. Kathy, I'm going to give you a round of applause. Okay. So like I mentioned, it is a National Sewing Month. And we are celebrating with this beautiful mini quilt. So this mini quilt, you can enlarge the pattern pieces if you want to make a larger quilt, like a lap quilt size. You can create several of these mini quilts as larger quilt blocks and piece them together to create a larger quilt, or simply keep it the size that it is because it is so cute. You can put it on your sewing room wall. I just love that there are 4 little thread spools inside of a larger thread spool. It's just very, very cute. So Cherry Goudry of Cherry Blossoms Quilting created this design for us, and it is a free pattern at sulky.com. So I'm going to go over the tutorial for how this comes together, but you'll want to grab the free pattern in its entirety at sulky.com. So when you get your mystery box, add the free pattern to your cart, or you can just simply create your sulky.com account, add it to your cart, go through the checkout process. It will be $0. The reason you're going through the checkout process is so that your digital pattern will be stored in your Sulky account for future reference. So it makes it very easy if you misplace it or if you want to print it out again. You can go to your Sulky account, grab that download again, and it's always there for future reference. If you're like me, you are always downloading free machine embroidery designs, patterns, all of that good stuff. And quite often, we don't organize our desktops as we should, and then we've lost it or can't find it. So at any rate, create your Sulky account if you don't have one already. Add this free pattern to your cart. Go through the checkout process and you will have the entire pattern. You can simply just leave it on your computer screen and refer to it. If you have a laptop or iPad or something, put that next to your workspace while you're cutting out and assembling the pattern, or you can print it out. So it's entirely up to you. So that pattern is going to have all the yardage requirements, all the cutting, all the construction. I'm going to give you an overview here on Sew What. So if you have questions while we are moving forward through it, please put them in the comments or in the live chat, and I will address those momentarily or as we move along. And then when you grab up your free pattern, you'll have a little bit of idea of how it comes together while you're working through it. All right, so extremely cute. It features our brand new machine embroidery collection, which is available at sulky.com, with all these great little sewing sayings. These all fit within a 4x4 hoop. So we've got our full bobbins, full hearts design, stitched together like needle and thread, live, love, sew, so much fun, so little time, sewing is cheaper than therapy, and yes, I made this. So you'll want to choose 2 designs to fit within 2 of those thread spools. Now, if you don't have an embroidery machine, you could do some hand embroidery, or you can piece together your thread spools for the embroidered ones. So you can simply swap out the thread spool that you are going to create, but super cute to add a little sewing themed embroidery to your thread spool. All right, so this is available as a collection. You can also purchase the designs individually. So if you like one more than the other and so forth, you can just grab up one of the designs. We also have this available as a thread palette. A thread palette includes embroidery designs. So if you get a machine embroidery palette like this one here, you will see it has all 6 of those great colors that are featured in the Love to Sew embroidery collection. So you will be able to get all 6 colors and embroider all of those designs and not have to go hunting through your stash to find the right color for each color stop in the design. Your designs will also come with a color sequence chart. Sometimes with older machines or even newer machines that have brand new formats, the colors don't translate as we would want them to for each and every design each and every design type, right? So for your particular brand, you will have a design file type you need to use. Just make sure to refer to your color sequence PDF to know which color goes where in the design. So you can grab up that collection as part of the thread palette or buy the design separately. All kinds of options for you. You will also want your trusty Oregon embroidery needles. Cherry used the 7511 with our rayon thread. Now, oftentimes we like to go up to even a 9014, depending on the thickness of your fabric. Sometimes a 9014 can create too large of a hole, but it's really great for metallic threads and more textured threads because that larger size allows that thread to pass through the needle eye, and with that friction, it kind of accommodates the friction of high-speed embroidery. So Cherry used the 7511 and that worked for her for these. So I just wanted to mention, normally we go with an 8012 or 9014. So you can try out the 7511 or go up to even a 9014 and that will work for the designs. Now, you can either use the same thread in the bobbin or you can use Sulky bobbin thread. Either one will work for the design. Oh, and like I said, so that pattern is going to give you all of these dimensions and all of the suggested fabrics. Now, Cherry has this great fabric collection that she used, and she designed it, and it's all sewing themed fabrics in the great colors that coordinate with the design collection. What a happy accident. Or maybe it was on purpose. I'm just saying, go to your fabric store or dive into your stash and find those cute sewing themed prints because this is the project for those. So again, all of the needed yardage will be on that pattern, so you don't need to take notes for any of this. I just wanted to show you the array of colors that Cherry chose for the project. All right, so first up is the machine embroidery. We typically start with machine embroidery when we're doing a project so that we're kind of making our own fabric, right, for 2 of those spools. So for this, we're actually going to float our fabric square over the top of the hooped stabilizer. So we're doing hoopless embroidery, meaning we are not hooping the fabric, we are only hooping the stabilizer. So you'll want to use 2 layers of Sulky Tear Easy stabilizer. because we're working with quilting cottons here, and we need a little bit more stability to support those. When the embroidery is complete, we're going to tear away those 2 layers independently. We don't want to go trying to tear away 2 layers at once, because we could pull some of that top top thread to the wrong side. And then we're going to have a little bit of puckering in our fabric if we do that. So whenever you use 2 layers, you want to remove them independently. All right, so here we are. I think this is a great way to center your embroidery design when you're floating a piece of fabric. So you can take your template that came with your hoop, or you can use your hoop cross marks to mark your center cross marks onto the stabilizer. So here those center marks, your horizontal and vertical marks are marked on the stabilizer. All right. Then, oopsies. Oh, there it is, marked again. Then you're going to, what has happened to my pictures? Let me make them larger. You're going to take your fabric square that you're going to embroider. You can see this one has a cute little scissor print to it. Now, I want to mention that a lot of the times when you are using embroidery on quilting fabrics, people just go with a solid fabric so that you can really see the embroidery and the details of the embroidery design. But if you find a blender, sometimes they're called, or like a tone-on-tone print, that can be a really great additional design choice or focal point for your embroidery. So it doesn't compete with the design itself, especially a design like this that has a lot of those colors to it. So this is like a cream fabric that has a little bit of scissor motif on it. Super cute. So you're going to fold your fabric into quarters. You will fold it horizontally and then fold it vertically and just kind of finger press so that you have those fold lines onto the fabric. Now you're going to position your fabric onto that Tear Easy stabilizer, matching up your fold lines with your marked center lines. You can use a little bit of Sulky KK2000, which is our temporary spray adhesive. I mean, seriously, buy this in bulk. Get 4 packs at once, whatever you need. We now have a little bit larger size of the KK2000 too, so you can get more product in your can. Anyway, this is my favorite temporary spray adhesive. It's air soluble, so it's just going to dissipate over time. About 24 to 48 hours, and this will be gone. So it doesn't gum up the needle. It's fantastic. Now, speaking of gumming up your needle, and when you were talking about the heat away, you can use a little dab of sewer's aid on your machine needle if you are worried about any kind of residue transferring onto your needle. But honestly, I do not have that problem, but just as a safeguard, you could use your sewer's aid for that. All right, so now we've got our fabric in the hoop. It is lined up, so we know our design is going to be in the center of that fabric square. And now we're just going to do the embroidery. In addition to that KK2000, you can do a basting stitch to further secure your fabric like Cherry has done here. That's just an additional safeguard, or if you didn't use the KK2000, be sure to add a basting stitch around your design perimeter. You don't want to do around the hoop perimeter because you can see our fabric doesn't cover the hoop entirely. And then we would have basting stitches going off of the fabric onto just the stabilizer. So do a basting stitch around the design perimeter and then begin your design. Be sure to clip your jump threads as you swap out each thread color. And there is our beautiful finished design. So you will remove the hoop from the machine, remove those basting stitches. I like to remove the basting stitches before I unhoop the project, because your hoop is, you know, keeping everything nice and flat and taut. So it's easier to remove those stitches at this point. I also really like these squeezer scissors. We have these at sulky.com. These are, I mean, my best friend. I have one next to my machine. I have one next to my little hand sewing, well, I don't really want to show this to you because it's so messy, but this is kind of my hand sewing go-to. It's a little cake stand. I have one on there. I have one next to my cutting station where I have pin cushions and things like that, because I'm just always misplacing them. So I find it better to just have 3 and have one at each place where I'm going to move around while I make my project. But at any rate, I love these little squeezers. They have a angled or curved end to them so that you can get on top of the fabric and snip away those basting stitches and snip away those jump threads without the tip of your scissors running into your fabric and accidentally cutting a hole in it. Anyway, I digress. So this is our finished design. We're going to remove those basting stitches. We're going to remove it from the hoop. We're going to tear away the Tear Easy stabilizer 1 layer at a time, and then give it a little bit of a press just around that outer area around the design. So you will repeat the process for the second design that you choose. You need 2 embroidered squares. Like I said, if you don't have an embroidery machine, you can simply repeat the process for piecing together your thread spools instead of using the embroidery. So speaking of piecing together your thread spools, get creative with it, you know? Pair a striped or floral fabric from your stash with your cute sewing theme designs. This is your chance to really have fun with it. So piece together the centers of your other 2 thread spools, and then we will trim those up so that they match the dimensions of our embroidered squares. So now we've got the center of all 4 of the thread spools completed. Now we're going to start adding the borders. So we need to add borders to our embroidered squares, and then borders to our pieced squares. So here are our 4 blocks that we are going to turn into little thread spools. All right, so now a little bit more cutting is involved. We need our little half square triangles that are going to create the upper edge of the spools, upper and lower edge. So you'll do a little bit more cutting. Here are those half square triangles. Then we're going to add those to the upper and lower borders. Trim off the excess. There is that top of the thread spool. And then you're going to repeat this for the upper and lower edge of our main thread spool that houses those little mini spools. Hopefully that makes sense. This will all be explained in the pattern directions as well, so you will see how that all comes together. And keep the questions coming. I will stop for a little Q&A here momentarily. All right, so now you can see that thread spool taking shape, those 4 blocks that are inside of our main thread spool. So you'll sew those together, right sides together, and then press your border seams toward the border, so away from that beautiful embroidery. So we don't have any shadowing, you know, that is seen beneath that pretty embroidery. So see, our 4 thread spools have really come together. I just love this design. I think Cherry was just so creative in coming up with these cute little thread spool blocks. Adorable. You know, you could just create these individually and have like a little mug rug and gift those to your sewing friends for National Sewing Month. What a cute idea. Just put a little binding around those, add some quilting, not in that order, and that would be a really cute riff on the pattern. So now you're going to add some additional borders to sort of separate those thread spools. And then you'll add your upper, middle, and lower borders as well. All right, you can see how quickly this comes together. Then you're going to add those side borders, the border H, and then your upper and lower thread spool ends. Then you will add borders to the entire thing to just kind of finish it and make it look so pretty. I love that sewing themed print. It's like a newsprint with little sewing ads, and it's just so cute. So there it is in all its glory. All the borders have been added. We have our center thread spools, our main thread spool, and then those borders, and then it's beautifully bound with a coordinating fabric print that is also along the back. So don't forget, you can quilt this any way you choose before you add that binding, of course. You can free motion quilt it. You can do some quilting in the ditch to really make those thread spools pop. Just outline all the thread spools and then the main one, and then add some free motion or even just straight line quilting around the border edge. So really have fun with your quilting. It's a small enough project that you can quilt it on your machine. No need to take this to the long armor. Use a 50 weight cotton for the quilting if you want it to kind of blend in. Cherry actually used Sulky invisible thread for the quilting. And I'm going to go back to our main image of it because you can really see the texture that she was able to get even with that invisible thread. So she did kind of a swirly, swooping, straight line, wavy line quilting along the entire piece. So I just so love how this turned out. She did such a great job. And you can even, when you are using invisible thread, you can quilt right over those embroideries and keep your lines going throughout. You don't have to, sort of quilt around those embroidered blocks because the invisible thread's just going to blend right in. And that way you'll have a through line for all of the texture you're creating with that great quilting. You can also use invisible thread in the bobbin when you are quilting with it. You want to fill your bobbin only about halfway. I would use a 90-14 quilting needle when using the invisible thread. Sulky invisible thread is just like sewing with our polyester thread. You can iron it, you can wash it. It doesn't have the same brittle sort of feel to it as some of the competitors' invisible thread that's available out there. So I really suggest you try it. It's a great, great effect and really fun to use, especially when your fabrics are so beautiful. You really want those to pop. You don't necessarily want the thread to sort of compete with the pattern. So keep that in mind as a choice for the quilting. And if you want to practice some different quilting looks, like I said, just create those center thread spool blocks and quilt them independently, bind them, and then give those away as gifts. Experiment by quilting each one in a different way until you figure out the look that you like the best, and then apply that to your finished wall hanging. And, what a great idea that is. All right, I'm going to head on over to some questions. So, need that invisible thread. I know. All right. Okay, Beth is saying, how do I get the embroidery designs for free? Well, the embroidery designs are not free. What is free is the quilt pattern. So if you are interested in the embroidery designs, they are relatively inexpensive. You can buy just one or buy the entire collection of designs, or you can grab up the Love to Sew Machine Embroidery Palette, which is this 6-pack of thread right here. And then with purchase of the thread, you will get the entire embroidery collection. And that is actually our giveaway today. I'm going to give away one of the Love to Sew Machine Embroidery Palettes to one lucky viewer who is liking, commenting, sharing out this live post today. And I will choose the winner tomorrow. So that gives a lot of people the chance to like, share, comment, post, all of those good things. And yeah, that's going to be our giveaway today. So that's how you get the designs. And then the quilt pattern, that's the freebie. And that is available at sulky.com. Add it to your cart. And then the design, or excuse me, the pattern will then be in your Sulky account for future reference. You can open it up, download it, print it, have it on your screen while you're working through the project, all of those good things. Okay. Barb says, I just spent my money. All right, Barb. Well, you're going to have a lot of fun. So I hope you grabbed up a mystery box as well as your machine embroidery palette or whatever it is that you purchased today. Oh, thank you. Quilt measurements are 25 by 28. So it's a great little wall hanging. Like I said, great to hang on your door. It's the perfect size for that as well. Okay. Love the idea of using invisible thread. Yes. And again, you can create that main thread spool or this wall hanging and create 6 of them and have a larger size quilt, or you can make them go 3 across and 4 down and have even a larger quilt. So really the size is up to you. This is really just a wall hanging size. And again, just create the little thread spools inside of that larger thread spool and create little mug rugs or, coasters, that type of thing. And yes, this will make an excellent Christmas gift. There's no time like the present to get started on those gifts. If you have sewing buddies, sewing friends, a quilting bee, a sewing guild, this would be a great little gift to get started on those Christmas gifts. It's going to be here before we know it. All right. Oh, Donna says, I think these would be great for a bag. That's a great idea. So you could use these as the front and back of a larger tote bag, and then either add a sort of boxing strip of fabric to give your tote a little bit of dimension, add some handles, and you've got yourself a sewing tote. So that's another great, great idea. I want to make sure I'm answering the questions. So, and the sewing theme fabric, sometimes I see that at the fabric store and I'm like, what can I make with this? So this is the perfect project for all of those cute sewing themed fabrics. You could go really vintage with it. I recently saw some of the treadle machine fabric and kind of dress forms and like vintage look. That would be really, really cute for this project. Okay. Marvelous colors for the designs. I really like that it's bright, it pops, the teals and the watermelon colors, and the gold. So perfect. Oh, Jean got her order in for the box. So make sure you're getting your mystery box. They are, let's see. Yes, they're selling fast, just so you know. Okay. Anne wants to know, how do you remove Sulky KK2000 from your hoop? So if you do have some overspray onto your machine embroidery hoop, 2 things have worked for me. If you notice it before you go on to your next project, and then if you don't notice it before you've gone on to your next project, and now you've got some fabric fuzz or dust or something that has accumulated on your sticky hoop, you can use a product like Goo Gone or Goof Off and apply it to a paper towel and gently remove, and then just wash your hoop with soap and water. If you've noticed that you've gotten a little bit of overspray, you can remove it with a little bit of soapy water and dry it off. Even if your fabric is inside, you can sort of kind of blot it away. However, like I mentioned, it is air soluble. So if you've gotten a little bit on your hoop and there's no other fur, fuzz, fabric sort of cut-offs, pieces of thread that have adhered to it, you can simply set it aside and see if it dissipates in that 48-hour time frame. If it does not, just some soapy water will remove it. And like I said, if you still have some stubborn sticky bits, you can use a product like, an orange oil, a goof off, a Goo Gone, and that will get rid of it. All right. Do you spray it on the fabric or the stabilizer? You can actually do either. I prefer to spray it onto the stabilizer and then stick my fabric. And that's just for the simple fact that in the past, I've gotten a little too close to my fabric with the KK2000, and then I might have a little spot or something on it. Now, again, that's going to dissipate, but I just like to err on the side of caution and spray my stabilizer instead. If you are worried that you're going to have that overspray onto your hoop, you can actually create your own little hoop guard. Or there are people that make hoop guards specifically for this. It's basically like a strip of cardboard, or in some cases it can be a strip of strip of plastic. And you will put it inside of your inner hoop ring, and you can tape it together. So you've now created like a round strip of cardboard or a round strip of plastic. Set that inside of your hooped stabilizer, and then lightly spray your KK2000. Any overspray is going to go on your hoop guard. Then you can just remove it and place your fabric. That way, there's really no chance of any overspray on your actual hoop. I do know that Zandra Shaw of Embroider Shop, she has a tutorial about a hoop guard, and she also has one available on her site as well. So if you're interested in that. All right. Thinking about getting a hoop guard. All right. Where can we order her fabric as shown? All right, so we do link to the fabric collection in the pattern itself, and you will have to find a retailer near you that carries that fabric line. So on the fabric website, and I believe we added a link to the fabric directly in the chat here. I'm just trying to find it. That will take you to the fabric manufacturer site. On that site should be an area of retailers or a retailer locator. And you can see if there's something near you that carries that collection. Also, I have a lot of success at fabric.com. It's a brand new fabric collection, so it may not quite be in stores yet, but I think there will be, more and more people will be carrying it. So as we move along. All right, Pat got the pattern, now needs to get the embroidery. All right. I think I'm caught up on most of the questions, and our customer support team is really great in the chat. Thank you so much. Would you mention the hoop guard website again? So Embroider Shop, that's SHOPPE, embroidershop.com. I believe they carry a hoop guard, and I know they have a tutorial about using a hoop guard as well on their website. All right. And yes, Benartex, there's the link for the fabric. Thank you so much. You can link on over and check it out and see if you can find that fabric collection in your area. Thank you, Barb. You have the best job. Thanks for all the info. I do have the best job. I pinch myself every day. Sulky is the best company to work for. I will say, you all want to work for Sulky. It's the best. Okay. Thank you, Angela. Some sites call it a hoop shield. Good point. So if you're not finding hoop guard, search for hoop shield, and I think you will find it. All right. So another thing I want to share with you all, I'm very excited about this as well. Could I be more excited about the Fall Mystery Box? I mean, get yours while you can. Okay, so another thing I'm very excited about is our next free webcast. Now, we just had our September webcast last Tuesday with Sew English, and I did want to mention we were able to restock the Navy kits. Those were extremely popular, and those kits sold out in the first 10 minutes of the webcast. I know, can you believe it? So if you missed out on getting a Sew English Sulky Perfect Tee kit, you can now get one at sulky.com, so be sure to grab up one of those. We also have kits available now for our next webcast. This will be happening October 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on our education platform, which is sewingonline.sulky.com. I also linked directly to register for the webcast. It's completely free. I will be your instructor for this webcast, and we are going to work our way through the So Can She organizer. This is a zippered organizer with clear vinyl pockets and a magnetic snap. Speaking of Christmas gifts, this is a super affordable kit. It's only $29.99 until the day of the webcast. Then it's going to go up to retail price. You're going to save at least $10 on this kit. It is so great. Now, you can get it in this colorway, which is this cute purple, kind of knit, crochet, crafty. Speaking of the sewing themed fabric, this is right up your alley if you love to knit and crochet. This is the inside of the organizer. Like I said, clear vinyl pockets, zippers on both sides, and a magnetic closure. It's the perfect canvas for machine embroidery embellishment, or you can simply do your favorite quilting design. And I'm going to go through how to quilt this as well. It has a foam interlining, so it has great structure to it. This thing stands up on its own. I absolutely love it. You can use it for your sewing supplies, for your knitting or crochet on the go. You can use it for makeup. You can use it for art supplies. You can use it for anything you want. It is a great little versatile pattern. So we have this purple heather colorway. We also have, this is really great for fall. We also have a mauve taupe colorway. I know, these are art gallery fabrics, and it's a fat quarter friendly project. So you will use 3 fat quarters, and those are included in the kit. So for your price of your kit, you're basically buying the fabric and getting the vinyl, the zippers, the snap, the foam interlining, the Sulky products, all the thread. You'll get blendables for quilting. You could see I quilted this one in a totally different way. It's really just, instead of doing the straight lines, I went across the other way to really highlight the print of the fabric. So this one has nothing in it right now, but you could see those zippers match perfectly. It's just a great little project. You're going to want to make one for yourself and everyone on your gift list for the holidays. So like I said, you can do embroidery or keep it simple with lots and lots of fun quilting with your blendables thread, and $22.99 while supplies last. All right. Everyone is saying, love the second color, beautiful fabrics, great bag for travel. Yes, exactly. With those vinyl pockets, you know, it's nice to see the contents, first of all, but would also be great, like you said, for travel when you have to open up your bag, show everything inside. You can have your little 3-quart, liquid bottles in there, and not have to remove them, ideally, when you go through security. Don't quote me on that, because they still might make you remove them, but I'm just saying. Love those clear vinyl pockets. So I'm going to teach you how to sew with vinyl so that you don't have sticking and that you have beautiful, beautiful stitches. I'm going to show you how to add these zippers, no problemo. I'm going to talk about the magnetic snaps. If you've never worked with hardware like that before, you will see just how easy it is to add it to your projects, and it really just gives a professional finish and look to things, and highly, highly functional. I absolutely love it because you can see this doesn't close all the way, but everything inside is completely contained in the zipper pockets. So I'm also going to show you, like I said, the embroidery. This is part of a brand new embroidery collection that we are going to launch soon. It's a little cat on a little yarn ball, and the embroidery design that you will get for free just by registering for the video cast is called Live, Love, Craft. So very similar to our Love to Sew embroidery collection, but this one will be called Love to Craft. So you guys are getting a sneak peek of it now because that collection isn't even available on the site yet. But if you register for the video cast, you will get one of the free designs in this new collection. Not the little kitty, it's a different one. And I apologize because I forgot to put it up here on the screen for you today. But here is an overview of those different kit options for this webcast kit that will be on October 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can grab up that mauve taupe colorway or the purple heather colorway. One of the prints in the purple one is little granny squares. Just so cute. They're crocheted granny squares. And I used it for the lining of my bag, but you can swap the fabrics. That's the beautiful thing. It comes with 3 fat quarters, so you can choose which fabric you want to showcase on the outside, the inside, and then as your zipper trim and binding. So if you like the little crochet hook print, that's what this striped fabric is. They're little crochet hooks. If you like that for the outside of your bag, simply swap those fat quarters. If you like for the mauve or taupe colorway, if you want that brown on the outside of the bag, you can choose that. Put this on the inside or choose it for your binding. So really, really versatile, and you can grab up several kits, make them with different fabrics on the outside, and they will all look different. So again, you'll get all the foam, the vinyl, the zippers, the thread, everything you need. The soft and sheer extra, which we are going to use as interfacing here, as well as for the optional machine embroidery. So everything you need in this kit, only $22.99. I mean, it's a steal. I keep thinking this can't be right. This price can't be right. All right. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat. Okay. Great price. Agreed. All right, good. We have included everything that the kit has. Now, again, the embroidery is optional for this. And in order to keep it that great, great price, if you want the addition of the embroidery, aside from the free embroidery design you get just by registering, the Love to Craft embroidery design collection will be a separate purchase. Again, we are still trying to get that up on the site as quick as possible. It will also be available as a machine embroidery palette, so you can get all the 6 colors you need in addition to the design collection. All 6 designs in that collection will be available in the palette. So there are lots of options for machine embroidery, but the kit will include everything you need to create this and then quilt it. If you want to do the embroidery, that will be an additional add-on purchase, just because it's entirely optional for your particular bag. Okay. All right. Everyone wants the kitty. Okay. I apologize. I get ahead of myself. I get so excited and I want to share things with you guys. So I should have waited until it was totally available, but you can register for the webcast now. And then grab up your kit. If you want to wait until the embroidery design collection is available, I will alert everyone who has registered thus far when that's available for purchase, and you can grab your kit and the embroidery designs and or embroidery palette, which includes a thread, to your purchase and check out all as one. All right. Tammy's registered already. All right, girl. We'll see you there. Great for sewing bags or learning to sew. That's a great idea. So you could make this up, fill it with a little sewing kit, and then gift that to somebody. You can even include a little pattern or beginner project or a little bit of fabric for them to experiment with. That is such a great gift idea. I absolutely love it. All right. Loving the magnet closure. Perfect. All right. How do you register for the webcast on October 12th? All right. So in the description of today's post, if you're not seeing the full description, make sure to hit that little see more button, whether you're watching on Facebook right now or YouTube, and you will find the link to register for the webcast. You can click right on over and register for the webcast. Then you will get all the emails reminding you of when we go live, as well as that reminder email I just told you about. I will send that to anybody who has registered thus far once we have that machine embroidery collection and the machine embroidery palette ready for purchase for the Love to Craft designs that I just showed you. All right. Barb. Barb says, well, I spent more money getting the kit for the next webcast. All right, Barb, you're good to go. Good to go. All right. Lots of people have registered and got the purple kit. All right. Okay. And Sharon, once that's available, it will be at sulky.com. But again, I will remind everybody who has registered thus far when the designs are available for purchase. You will be able to get your Live, Love, Craft design as soon as you register for the webcast. So that's the freebie just for signing up as a thank you from Sulky. So again, our giveaway today, to kind of shift gears back to loving to sew, to kind of wrap up our National Sewing Month So What episode here today, our giveaway for one lucky viewer who is liking, commenting, sharing out this live post today will be our Sulky Love to Sew Machine Embroidery Palette, which includes 6 great spools of Sulky rayon thread, as well as the entire Love to Sew embroidery collection. You can buy that separate or with the thread pack or as individual designs. So that's what we featured today on our great free quilt project. I hope you all have added this to your cart and you will be ready to download it as soon as we say goodbye here and start working on this great, great wall hanging or quilt or mug rug or whatever you choose to use it for. Now be sure, if you are creating that project, we love to see what you create. If you post pictures to social media, please tag Sulky and add the hashtag #SewBetterWithSulky, and that way we get to see your awesome creations and we get to see your twist on the project, and that is our favorite thing. We love it so much. All right, so thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this edition of So What. Be sure to tune in next week. We're going to talk about some serger stuff. I have been teasing my brand new serger over here, and I keep saying I'm going to unbox it, and something else always comes up. I couldn't, not talk about our mystery box today. So next week, I promise I'm going to unbox this serger here. And it's great timing because our serger sewing session starts next week on Monday, on the 27th. All of that content will become available for everyone to watch on demand at your leisure. You can choose your own adventure with our sewing sessions and decide how you want to consume the content. You can watch all the videos first. You can read through all the content first. You can download your printables and project first. You can start with lesson 1 and go all the way to lesson 6, or you can pick and choose how you want to view all of that great serger content by Katrina Walker. So if you have not registered for the sewing session, when you sign up for our free Sew Can She Organizer webcast, be sure to sign up for the serger sewing session. You're absolutely going to love all the information. And if you're like me and unboxing a brand new serger, this sewing session is going to take you through the must-have basics and then go even a little bit beyond to expand your serger knowledge and serger education. So join us for that as well. All right. Can't wait. Me too. Can't wait for me to unbox the serger. All right. Join me next week for that fun and enjoy your mystery boxes. I hope you all are able to get one before we sell out. Be sure to grab up that Webcast kit as well, because those are also going to go fast, fast, fast. So I look forward to talking with you all next week on another So What. Have a wonderful day.